Overreaction Monday!
Nice!
Let's get it. You guys probably didn't know, man. We're back. We're back. we had to leave for a second just to come back, man. I am the governor of college football. With me is the mayor of college football, Nino Brown, at Nino Brown _T2T. Nino, what's popping?
Oh, feels good. Week 0's in the books. We got a full lineup on Thursday. I think it's like 7-8 games. Gas. Can't wait. My man Bosa drops a show coming up this week too. Gone at Roost. We talk college football. I'm in my lane. I'm ready to go. Let's get them.
Oh, man. It's so much to talk about from this weekend. Let's get into some of these overreactions. First thing first, Sam Hartman had the day versus Navy, and the Irish dominated the midshipmen 42-3. Sam Hartman was a sharp 19 of 23, 251 yards and 4 tutties. Nino, how would you grade Sam Hartman's performance?
I went back and forth on this a lot, okay, with myself, with my thoughts. And sometimes that's the worst thing. I kept going A-, B+. I'm going to give him an A-, okay? A- because he missed a couple throws. That one to Tobias Merriweather in the end zone, he wants that one back, okay? He wants that fifth tutty. If you would just let him, instead of floating it, he would have had an easy touchdown. And it's a little bit on Merriweather's part. Go up and get the ball. High point the ball at its point and help your QB out. But he looked good, okay? I like the fact, and I said it all over Twitter, X, normally Angry Blue Bird, but I did say Hartman was throwing the ball and releasing it before wide receivers were getting out of their breaks. So he had a great anticipation for a young wide receiver room. I don't think I've ever seen Sam Hartman take that many snaps on the center in 4 years at Wake Forest. Have you?
I will agree 100%.
He looked like he was in command. He looked like they looked to him for leadership, and he had that. And the ground game was clicking. We'll touch on that in a second. But Sam Hartman, I'll give him an A-. But we also have to remember, it was Navy. They were a one-trick pony, and once that defense figured out, the triple option or whatever they were trying to, I watched balls get thrown in the air higher than they went further. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched balls go in the air 5 yards and land 3 yards. So, there was no running. He did throw 2 passes downfield where the wide receiver was so open, he didn't know what to do, and they didn't catch it. But let's yes, it's been 7, 8, 9 months with no college football. I understand. But let's not say that Sam Hartman is QB1 already, okay?
Hey, I thought that was a great take. I like what I saw out of him. I think you asked probably the greatest question as it pertained to this game overall. You asked, hey, can Sam Hartman lead players when he doesn't have the dogs on the outside that he had at in Winston-Salem at Wake Forest? And the answer, for the very small sample size we have, this is our long college football season, the answer is yes for now, but we're going to have to see them play much tougher teams. Now, let's move along to the running game. Audric asked me, I hope people seen your short that you did on him breaking down his game. He had 95 yards on 16 totes. He was running like a man possessed. How would you break down his performance?
I was impressed, okay? He had 11 broken tackles, and he looked like a freak. 220 pounds, 6 foot. He had it, and I was one of those guys that was pounding the keyboard on Saturday. But let's just sit back, take a deep breath, okay? He's a genetic freak, yes, and he looked good, and yes, he had 11 broken tackles. But was that a product of Navy's defense being beat up? And by the second half, he could just do whatever they want. They're having their way with it, and once they started throwing the ball around, Navy was like chicken with the head cut off. They didn't know what to do. I thought Ramos, the linebacker for Navy, was going to have a great day. He was just running around. He couldn't, there's nothing he could do. We were spreading him thin everywhere. He looks good, yes. And he has a good combination in the back with G-Brain Payne. It's a good combo, right? But again.
You called that one, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, Estamine played Navy, who was on the field defensively so much because they couldn't run the ball. They were trained. I want to see, and they're gonna get that test very soon when they go and play North Carolina State. That's that first test. In 2 weeks, I think it is, 16th, they play him. Then I want to see Sammy Hartman, right? And then now you're getting a little bit more tests on the defensive side of the ball. I want to see if this run game, listen, they got 2 guaranteed in Alton Fisher, and Rocco looked really good, left guard. He was just violent off the line. So I want to see if that offensive line can open up the holes and esteem do what he did then. But for now, it's 1 week. Yes, he looks good. Yes, he's a genetic freak. Yes, this is what they wanted. But again, it was Navy.
Great point. Lastly, overreaction question uno. We got our first overreaction question. Is Notre Dame for real, and can they win it all?
Well, I don't think they can win it all. I don't know. There's just too much big boys in the room, okay? Are they for real? Yes. I think Sammy Hartman is the best QB they've had probably since Joe Montana. And I think Sammy Hartman was kind of that piece because that defense, let me tell you, that linebacker call was dogs.
They were moving.
Bertrand
was all over the field.
Maurice Lufava, I'm going to say it wrong, but the Samoan, the Hawaiian, whatever, he's my guy.
We know who you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Those three. The secondary was lined up more in a box than they were out. They had no threat, though. So they could just sit there and attack and eat and take away the slot guy if they even tried to. So that defense looks really good. And they were all clicking early. Like everybody was on all cylinders. The both lines looked really good. Defense looked really good. Sammy looked really good. The run game looked good. Jaden Greathouse looked great. I think that they are here. They are for real. I just can't not say off week 0 in Dublin that they're going to go to college football playoff and win it all. So, no, Notre Dame can't win it all.
All right, let's head to where it never rains in Southern California. Let's talk about USC. Offensively, in my opinion, they look sharp. I love seeing freshman wide receivers eat. Caleb Williams, he was pretty damn efficient, 18 of 25, 278 yards and 4 touchdowns. Nino, what were your impressions offensively for the Trojans? Offensively, yes.
This is positive. Okay, this is positive. Caleb hit 12 different receivers in week 0. 12. Okay? Granted, my guy, Mekhi Lemon, caught one and then he went 0 yards. It was 12 different receivers. I don't care. And the fact in the first quarter, there was a fumbled snap that he picked up, didn't even phase him, and threw for a touchdown is the reason why they compare him to Mahomes, which I think isn't fair to the kid, but it's the reason why they compare him. He is the most elite college football quarterback against the blitz right now, hands down.
Period.
It doesn't even phase him. I think he wants it. Like, please, please me, because now I'm in my element and I can do whatever I want to do. The offense, passing-wise, looked good. 12 guys. Zachary Branch came out, did his thing. We might need to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm hearing and seeing things about him being the best wide receiver next year. It's one game. It's San Jose State. And I'm not knocking San Jose State, but it's San Jose State, okay? The thing that jumped off the page to me was he got reps and important touches early in the slot where Mario Williams is.
Oh, I knew you were going to go there. And this is why you guys got to catch the predictions on Saturday. Because me and Nino talked about this. We got a sixth sense. We do this during the offseason. That's why we got a sixth sense. And we talked about Mario Williams. That's my guy. And it hurt me seeing it. And I'm like, wow.
It's week 0, and this kid on the field already eating. So
let's watch the snap count over the year.
Yeah, let's go see mid-season, because if he's in 6 weeks, only if, one guy's at 50 and one guy's at 40, we got a problem because he's getting passed by the end of the year very, very soon. Now, I hear and I see things, everybody's, the run game was great. Really? Did you guys watch some game that I didn't watch? Because Austin Jones went 6 for 54 on a touchdown, right? One of those was for 37 yards. So 5 for 20-something yards, averaging like 4.2 yards. That's really good, right? That I don't know. That doesn't really seem like that good to me. Marshawn Lloyd had 9 attempts for 42 yards. It's a little better, but that's 15 attempts on the ground for your dog running backs. Your 2 guys that lead in this room, you gave them 15 carries? Okay. I guess so. You remove Malik Brown to a slot wide receiver, another guy in Mario Williams' room, and you had only 2 guys, and they only got 15 reps total. I need to see something more out of that. I figured that they would establish the run game first. the first quarter, probably get these guys going, get them this amount of yards in the first half, and then turn it over to Caleb. It was just Caleb's show the whole time.
From the start.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the San Jose State side for a little bit. I thought at moments they looked impressive offensively. Talk to me about Chevin Cordero. He was 21 of 38, 198 yards, and 3 scores. What did you see from the San Jose State side that makes you say, okay, this team may be decent this year and could do something? Oh, wow. No.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna make it rain in San Jose. Okay. Yes, they stuck around for the first half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made it competitive.
The Trojans second. It's hard for me to not go and bash their defense. USC, when I talk about a different, it doesn't matter. Nick Nash had 2 plays for 25-yard touchdowns. Okay. Cordero had 198 yards on passing. Right.
Yep.
That looks great on the stat sheet because he had 3 touchdowns, but that's only 90 yards more than he had on the ground. That's a major concern for me. You didn't hit 200 yards. You had 100 yards rushing. Are you a quarterback? Or are you a running back, right? And you take away 198. You take away 73 of those on extended plays by Nick Nash. Now you're looking at a guy at 100 yards rushing and 100 yards passing. Yes, last year, the last 7 games, Cordero carried San Jose State. And he's known for being a dual threat, but I need to see the other threat in the passing game be more than just throwing these little passes to a guy and he takes off down the field. One of those passes was a nice ball for a touchdown to Nash. The other one Nash did on his own, and then he threw a 2-yarder. So it's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? They got almost 200 yards on the ground. That, I think, is a key thing for San Jose State. They can run the ball like they did throughout quarterback, running back. They might be able to be in games for a little while. I called Kerry Robinson with a touchdown. He scored a touchdown. But it's really hard for me to take any good out of San Jose's performance. They just stuck around.
They still got mollywopped in the end, but they stuck around long enough to make the for week 0 to make the game like, oh, what's going on here?
Because of a reason I'm about to talk to you about.
Overreaction dose, Nino. Is it too early to worry about USC defense and this Alex Grinch on the hot seat? And this is where I want the mayor to go crazy. Do your thing, man.
I'm flicking the bic. Yeah, his seat is super hot. Nothing changed. Nothing. You got smoked in your last game for almost 260 yards rushing against Tulane. San Jose State come in here and ran for almost 200 yards against you in week 0. Like, bro, come on. Do something. Why did Bear Alexander get no snaps or minimal snaps? This kid should have been on the line, wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Agreed.
Mason Cobb looked good, right? But when your leading tackler is a safety on your team, we got a problem. That means too many completed catches, right? Like, come on. What? Change it up. Do something. You couldn't stop anybody from running the ball. The QB had 100 yards. Like, nothing changed. You're watching the same movie and hoping to God that the ending changes. Sorry. Homeboy's got to go. And Lincoln Riley's never going to win a title with Homeboy running that defense. Ever.
How short of a leash you think Lincoln Riley is going to have?
It's going to be – I'm going to give him a quarter of the season.
Okay.
Because you got to face some stiffer competition to see how they play out.
Right.
But that looked bad defensively for USC in my eyes.
Wow. I love that. I absolutely love that take. So now let's head north of L.A. We're going to go to San Diego where the Aztecs hosted the Bobcats of Ohio, where they were able to squeak by 20-13. All right, Aztecs quarterback Jalen Maiden did just enough to get the W. He was 17 of 27, 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nino, you had a lot invested in this game. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this game. And you can just shoot. I'm not asking any more questions. I just want you to shoot.
All right, listen. I said Sammy Wiggles was going to go off. He did. But he did it with the wrong QB. Here's my problem. Curtis Rock was 8 for 10 for 75 yards and looked like he had never had an ACL injury at all. And then he got hit and went face down for about 3 to 4 seconds. I didn't know if he was concussed. I didn't know if the ACL was hurt again. But he got up, ran off the field, and right before he got to the sideline, he kind of just buckled, and we never saw him again.
Wow.
Then C.J. Harris tried to be a quarterback. He went 18 for 41. 3 picks with a QBR of less than 35. Okay? That, my friends. Now, I'm not taking anything away from San Diego State because there's a couple guys in the San Diego State side I will talk about because I like their gameplay. But here's what I didn't get. Your quarterback was struggling to throw the ball, right? Why did you not give Saban more attempts than 15? Okay? This was a dude last year that with Rock carried you. He was a weekly 100-yard back with pass catching capability. You couldn't throw the ball, so run. They should have just kept run. This is another game where I watched balls go higher in the air than they went further out. Like, this cannot be happening. You can't be. It was bad QB play in this one. Even homeboy from San Diego State, he wasn't the greatest.
No, he did. That's why I say he did just enough.
And you know what though? He did just enough towards the end of the season last year. The last 3 or 4 games made him do the same thing. It was sub 60% completion. Never really topped over 200 yards passing. And for a guy who didn't top over 200 yards passing, Mark Redmond was a stud, okay? 5 receptions, 60 yards, he had 2 touchdowns. He's 6'6". I mean, this is a red zone threat. This guy should be eaten, right? Especially in a new wide receiver room that's led by Mekhi Shaw, who was a DB 2 years ago coming into San Diego State. Now, Shaw did well. He had 3 for 48, averaged 16 yards per catch. But like I said, he's kind of the younger guy in the room. Redmond's going to be that guy I think that's going to catch a lot of targets going down the stretch. On the defensive side of the ball, this is where I kind of enjoyed myself, okay? Was it Bryce Houston or Cody Moon? They were just feasting like Zeke at the buffet table eating cereal, all right? 13 tackles for Houston and 11 for Cody Moon. The problem is these guys are totally different style linebackers. 162, 246, 161, 200. Like, you can't get any different. One flies around speedy, wraps him up. One guy just knocked the snot out of it. But it was a great ball game if you liked defense, okay? If Curtis Rock was in this game, I'll bet my paycheck on it.
Yeah.
I was winning this game going away.
And he was sharp. He was sharp in the moments that he played. Shout out to my guy Fallen in the chat. We appreciate the support, man. Fallen been in for our last 3 streams. You know, I don't know if you know that. The 2 that we did on Saturday. Yeah, so we definitely appreciate you. Nino, I got to ask, because the NCAA community, if I don't ask about it, they're going to have my head on the platter, bro. What do you think about the new score bug, man, that Fox debuted in this game?
Would it be an overreaction if I said I was all in on it? They're trying things, okay?
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
And that's what that's where I'm at. At least they're trying to do things outside the box.
Yeah.
All right? Like, it's not the same old thing, running it out because it works. You're doing different things. I'm cool with it. Just got to tighten up the nuts and bolts a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. I know a guy that's good at production. Give him a call. He's really good. All right.
I know a guy that's really good at production too. He's phenomenal. He probably does production for about 30 shows, and I'm not exaggerating.
In his sleep.
Nino, I gotta ask, who's your week 0 player of the week going to? If you want to give me like one person, a couple of honorable mentions, it's on you.
I'll give you. I'm gonna go with. I'm partial. You see, Boston, New England. I'm a Mass guy. UMass looked freaking great. They were counted out against New Mexico State. They came in there with their their fancy looking whatever those are ponchos they had on, or Aztec warrior looking things, and they went home with an L. And I'll take UMass winning it. I'm gonna take UMass against Auburn with the spread. 36 points is a lot. I think they can cover that next week. But I'm going to go with UMass safety, Tyler Randolph.
Ooh.
Former 4-star. He committed to Penn State, was there for 2 years, transferred to UMass, 8 tackles, 6 solo, tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. This guy was everywhere. I think he's going to be an integral part to UMass's defense. He can play in the box. He can play in the slot. He can play out, play outside. And listen, Penn State don't recruit chumps in the secondary. We know that. Last 6 or 7 years, they've had just straight dogs. So Tyler Rudolph is my guy. Another guy, honorable mention. I'm gonna go stay on the defensive side. I got one offensive guy. Trice Knight, UTEP. I posted him on Twitter mid-game. I said, middle of the second quarter, this is a guy I'm going to be watching the rest of the game. And I had a guy go, I'll just watch the QBs like everybody else. And I think my guy was watching the game because later on he was like, all right, yeah, that tackle for loss was tied to him. He's having a good game. He ended up with 13 tackles, 8 solo, tackle for loss. This guy was everywhere. He's a senior, Jim Nagy. I tagged you. I'm going to be in your ear a lot this year. Trice Knight, UTEP minor, is the guy you want to look out for. My guy Mace Rini, I tagged him in and he watched it too. He hit me back. He was like, bro, they just sent this guy twice, back-to-back plays, and he was responsible for breaking up the pass on the second attempt. Like he seems to be flying around. Number 10, UTEP minus. Check him out, Trice Knight. And then we did an interview with them. Both of them, actually. I did a double interview with Hank Bachmeyer and Smoke Harris, La Tech. Smoke Harris just did his thing. For a guy who had an ADOT of 1.8.
That's crazy.
Average depth of target was under 2 yards. He ended up with 150 plus yards, a touchdown on 11 receptions, 130 something that was yards after the catch. Like his body control, his core, like strength, his vision, his footwork. This guy is always on his toes, always moving. Smoke Harris is underrated. I know because not many people are watching La Tech. But listen, if you don't play college fantasy football, you might not know who he is. Just type his name into Google, YouTube, anything. Watch him. This kid's playing on Sundays. This kid's got the juice.
Yo, if you are not subscribed to CFB Nation by now, what are you doing? What are you doing? We held you down during the summer, during the spring, during the winter, where everybody else was in hibernation. We was working. We held you down. Hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's get into it. And I appreciate Nino. He foreshadowed for me a little bit. Let's talk about this FIU and LA Tech game. Conference USA, they was gracious. They gave us 2 conference games in week 0. Both of these games will matter towards the end of the season in Conference USA play. LA Tech was able to get the W versus Florida International, 22-17. Hank Bachmeyer, 34 of 44, 333 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Nino, what were your impressions of this game?
Why did Grayson James play? 5 attempts for 14 yards, 4 yards, an interception, and he had a QBR of 5.
You know what his stats were last year, right?
Not very good.
It was 11 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, at what – see, this is my thing, okay? Mm-hmm. And kudos to Shamari Lawrence, who went off 15 carries, 139 yards, touchdown, 9 yards per carry, facing stacked boxes. Mm-hmm. They knew that that's all you could do, okay? And they stacked it on him, and he still went off for 9 yards to carry. But at what point, why did FIU – do they not have another QB? Like, why not put somebody else in when you were literally barely breathing? I know you were in the game, but it wasn't because of your offense. It didn't make any sense to me, especially when La Tech was spreading the field on all facets, right? Like, yeah, their running game wasn't great. They had 39 attempts, 114 yards spread out on 5 guys. Smoke was in there as well. But the receivers, like 34 receptions, 334 yards. Another one. 10 receivers. 10 different receivers caught the ball, right? So, like, their offense was spreading out. Like, FIU's defense probably went in a tunnel and got oxygen. Manuel had 15 tackles, 8 solo. Peterson had 11 tackles. And Jamal Potts, who I mentioned to you, when you put out that thing on Twitter about you were taking FIU over La Tech, I said, listen, I'm taking Smoke, but I will tell you the Panthers got a dog in Jamal Potts. 10 tackles, 7 solo, 2.5 tackles for loss. Called it. Check. Their defense was smoked, bro. They were on the field the whole time.
Yeah, I like Donovan Manuel as well. I'm high on Donovan Manuel. Everybody we talked about And your previews and my previews, we hit on everybody. Shamari Lawrence, I talked about him. Jamal Potts, talked about him. Donovan Manuel, who I pray, I know Nino is closer to Nagy than I am. I pray he find a way in Mobile. This dude is a dog. Like, I'm telling you, he's a dog. I will pound the table. Smoke Hurst and Hank Backmeyer. Nino was on that months ago, bro.
Yep. Sorry. Another guy I did like for La Tech on the defensive side of the ball was Miles Hurd.
Mm-hmm.
He had 9 tackles. I know only one of them was solo. All right, but he's a senior, 5'11", 201 pounds. Listen, DB, I don't mind a DB not having all solo tackles. You're in there and you're around the ball.
Right,
so
right.
Cool. But he's a guy you might want to look out for going down the stretch. I think Miles Hurd could be the leader in that secondary.
Wow. Any last words, before we close out the debut episode of Overreaction Monday?
If you ain't subscribed, watching, get the notifications to CFB Nation, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? We're going to prep you. We're going to tell you why you want to. We're going to show you the Debbie Downs. We're going to tell you what teams we like, what teams you should be watching. We're going to go by the spread if you like it. We'll tell you whatever you want, we got. Just hit the damn button and enjoy the content that you're about to receive.
Very ambidextrous. We got Debbie Darlings uploading tomorrow. The Armory came out today. We gave you Overreaction Monday today. CFB Prime, probably my personal favorite. That's tomorrow. Governor College Football, I think I might be dropping either tomorrow and Thursday. We are bringing you guys lots of content. Oh, may I not forget, Sooner Shakedown is coming back. Hawks Nest is back. The episode was recorded tonight. I'm telling you guys, we got you covered. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at the CFB Nation. Follow Nino on Twitter at Nino Brown _T2T. Follow me on Twitter at Leverett _KT. And we're on Spotify. We're one of the few companies that have video podcasts on Spotify. Check us out, CFB Nation. Same thing on Apple Podcasts.
I got a question for you. It's Overreaction Monday. I got to go that way because I want the smoke. What are your thoughts about this self-imposing stuff? ASU.
It's smart. They did it too. They did it too.
Now
they did it too. It's smart. It's smart.
Soft.
It's smart. The reason it's smart, we've seen it work with the Jeremy Pruitt situation, because
they paid a fine as well. They didn't just self-impose.
Yeah, and then they also restricted scholarships and then the amount of players that are able to go on visits and things like that. Tennessee was a little bit more diligent than these other guys. Michigan are slowly doing more. Offense coordinator Sharon Moore, I think last I seen he was suspended for a game as well. Harbaugh got 3-game suspension as well. It's turning yourself in.
Yeah.
You got a warrant for your arrest. Your lawyer's gonna tell you, hey, turn yourself in. We're gonna make it look real good for you. See if we can get you a lesser sentence. All that jazz. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I got another one for you because we're overreacting like a mofo today. Ethan Gabbers, QB1 for UCLA. I'm pretty sure about a month ago, I said Chip Kelly was going to mess this one up.
And you got hazed for it.
I got destroyed.
And a week or two after that, I got some intel that Gabbers will be starting as well. He's starting. Told you the same thing with the Auburn quarterback situation. Peyton Thorne. A lot of people didn't want to hear it. I told everybody from day one that Grant Wills is going to be Virginia Tech starting quarterback. People didn't want to hear it. So if you're going to hate on somebody early, you need to congratulate the same way that you hate it. So y'all need to go right back into the CFB Prime video when he was telling you guys what was about to happen, then it happened. And y'all like, oh, damn. Oh, man.
Maybe he does know what he's talking about. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Who knows?
Anybody can point fingers and talk shit behind a keyboard.
Right.
I'll give you my setup. Come sit behind the mic. Talk. Be knowledgeable and not sound like a putz, please.
And they don't know how difficult it is at all. This is Overreaction Monday. We are all about to smoke. We will see you next Monday, and we're going to overreact to week 1, which is going to be crazy. Nino, tell everybody not only where they can find you at, but also where you're going to be at this upcoming weekend.
You can find me at Nino Brown _T2T, and I'm going to be at Alumni Stadium. Yeah, that's right. My credentials, be covering BC all season, taking on Northern Illinois University, which should be a good one, but I think BC's going to put them away in the second half. So you can catch me there. I'll be there all year. We're going to be all over the place. This is what we do.
Hey, I don't know where I'm going to be at. I might be in Virginia Tech. Might be in Colorado. Might be in Arizona State. Might be in Michigan. I don't know. We got options. That's all I'm saying. Overreaction Monday. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to 11th Street. I see 11th Street in the building. Shout out to Weed. Shout out to the ball. Shout out to everybody in the building. For the mayor, I'm the governor. That's it. We holla at you.